So, good evening, everyone. So, online is my voice is audible to you all. Can you confirm me in chat box once? As well as screen. Clear for all of you? So, online is my voice is audible to you all. So, thank you for the confirmation. So, now, so before going to start, so let me ask you one question like, so what is the purpose of DevOps or why DevOps? Anybody has any idea? What is the purpose of DevOps or why DevOps? Any idea? So whether it is right or wrong, you can answer, guys. So no worries. So this is going to be the interactive sessions. So why DevOps? Any idea? Why DevOps? So whether it is right or wrong, you can answer. No worries. Now, so see here, let me tell you with simple example. Let's say if you want to book a mobile. So now tell me any two e-commerce applications that are available in the market. If you want to book a phone, now tell me any two e-commerce applications that are available in the market. So I think we are having in the online, right? So just try to respond here, guys. Any two e-commerce applications that are available in the market. What are they? Flipkart as well as Amazon, right? So Amazon as well as Flipkart. Let's say the mobile cost is going to be the 10,000 rupees. So what was the mobile cost here? 10,000 rupees. So the same mobile with the same cost, so Amazon can deliver within 3 days. How many days it will take here? It is going to take the 3 days of time. 8 days. So whereas in the Flipkart, so the same cost, so the same mobile, it can deliver within 10 days. How many days it will take here? It is going to take the 10 days. Now here my question was like, which one we will choose, sir? Which one we will choose? So online. Which one we will choose? Absolutely Amazon, right? So again my question was like, why Amazon? Why Amazon?
Fast delivery.
Fastest delivery, right? So whereas in the same way, in the similar way, if you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, DevOps is the fastest way. So clear for all of you why DevOps? If you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, DevOps is going to be the fastest way. Now, so let's say if you want to create any software or if you want to create any application, so here what I need to follow? I need to follow a life cycle called SDLC. What we need to follow here? We need to follow a life cycle called SDLC, nothing but software development life cycle. So we are the humans, right? For the humans, we are having the human life cycle. In the same way, for the software also, there is a life cycle called SDLC, nothing but software development life cycle. So now see here, in the software development life cycle, majorly we are having two teams. How many teams I am having here? I am having two teams. So the one was the development team. So the first one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. What was the second one here? Ops team. So totally in the SDLC, how many teams I am having? I am having two teams. So one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. Now let us discuss what they will do. So see here in the SDLC, how many teams I am having? I am having two teams. So one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. So the things that are done by the development team. So first, what they will do, sir? They are going to do the plan. So they are going to do the code, build, as well as test. And the operational team, what they will do? They are going to do deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So totally in the SDLC, how many stages I am having here? I am having 7 stages. So in the SDLC, totally how many stages I am having? I am having 7 stages. Now here my question was like, how to remember this number? How to remember this number? Let me ask you one question like, how many days in a week? 7, right? So what is the jersey number of Dhoni? 7, right? So simply we can remember this number. Now in the SDLC, how many stages I am having? I am having 7 stages. So what are they? Plan, code, build, as well as test. And also we are having deploy, operate, as well as monitor I am having. Now let us discuss one by one. What is meant by plan, code, build, as well as test. And also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Let us discuss one by one. So the first one is about what? It is going to be the plan, right? So the first one is about the plan. Now, what is meant by plan here? So let me explain you with simple example. Let's say, let's say, if you are trying to construct an building, you are trying to construct an building. So ultimately, we should have the plan, right? So the first one is about how many stairs we are going to be construct. How many stairs we are going to be construct. Next, so the second one was like what type of materials we are going to be used in our building. So the third point was like how many workers we are going to be implement in our building. Next, so the fourth one was like what is the budget for our building? What is the budget for our building? So the fifth point was like what is the timeline for your building? So you want to create your building within 1 year or within 2 years or within 3 years. What is the timeline for your building? So whereas in the same way, in the similar way, so if you want to create any application, first we should have the plan. So what exactly under comes in the plan? Let me tell you. So the first one was like name of the application. What was the first one here? So the first one was like name of the application. Let's say I'm going to create the Paytm application. What we are going to create here? We are going to create the Paytm application. Name of the application. Next. So the second point was like how many services we are going to be implement. How many services we are going to be implement. So here services are nothing but recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. These all are the services. So the first point was like name of the application. So the second point was like how many services you want to create your, I mean to say in the Paytm application. Next. So the third point was like how many developers you want to implement in your Paytm application. Nothing but the development team. How many developers you want to implement in the Paytm application. Let's say I want to implement 5 developers. I want to implement 5 developers. Next. So the fourth point was like on which technology you want to create your Paytm application. So you want to create your Paytm application in the Java or in the .NET or in the Python. So on which technology you want to implement your Paytm application. Next. So the fifth point was like what is the timeline for your application? What is the timeline for your application? So you want to create your application within 1 year or within 2 years or within 3 years. What is the timeline for your application? Next, sixth point. What is the budget for your application? Nothing but the money. Next. So the seventh point was like, on which cloud you want to implement your Paytm application. So in the market, we are having the AWS, we are having the Azure, and also we are having the GCP. So on which cloud you want to implement your Paytm application? These all under comes plan. These all are under comes plan. So clear for all of you what is meant by plan? So just try to confirm me in chat box once online so that we can move. So online clear for all of you? Yes. So after plan, what we are having here? We are having the code. What we are having here? We are having the code. Now, what is meant by code? So see here, this stage was very important. This stage was very important. So after this, we are having the. Now, what is meant by code? So code is nothing but whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. Whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So here what's my requirement? My requirements are nothing but the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets, right? So totally I have implemented 5 developers. So these developers are going to write the code in the Java format regarding these services. Nothing but the code. So remember, as a DevOps engineer, as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. So it's going to be the 100% free of code. As a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. So it's completely handled by the development team. So I'm going to repeat one more time. So what is meant by code? Code is nothing but whatever the development team I have involved in my planning phase. So these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. That's it. Nothing but the code. So now next. So after code, what we are having? We are having the build. What we are having here? We are having the build. Now, what is meant by build? Let me explain you. So this stage was very important. So see here. Let's say after writing the code, let's say I'm having the development team here. I'm having the development team. So this team was written the code in the Java format. Which format they have written? They have written the Java format. So when we see the Java code, when we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right? When we see the Java code, we can able to read it. So this is nothing but the human readable language, right or not? This is nothing but the human readable language, nothing but the high level language. Remember, at the end, whatever the code I am having, I need to place this code on the server. Where we need to be placed? We need to be placed this code on the server. So remember, server, mission, laptop, all are the same. Server, mission, laptop, all are the same. Okay. So but the server, but the mission will only understand what? It can only understand the binary level language. Other than this, mission can't understand anything. Okay. So These languages are also going to be called as lower level languages. Okay. So now see here, converting the human readable language into mission understandable language, nothing but the binary level language are called build. Converting the human readable language into mission understandable language are nothing but what? It's going to be the build. So clear for all of you what is meant by build? Online, just try to confirm me in chat box once so that I can move. Converting the human readable language into mission understandable language are nothing but what? It's going to be the build. So clear for all of you what is meant by build? So that's great. Next. After build, what we are having here? We are having the test. What we are having here? We are having the test. Now, what is meant by test? Let me explain you. So let's say initially what we have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the Paytm application. So in that Paytm application, what I have created? I have created the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets I have created. So let's say one of our user is trying to access our Paytm application. One of our user is trying to access our Paytm application. So that too, he is trying to access our bank transactions. That too, he is trying to access the bank transaction. Let's say he know right how much amount was there in his bank account. So ultimately he know. So let's say he is having totally 10,000 rupees in his bank account. But when he is trying to access our Paytm application, that to bank transactions, it is showing only 1,000 rupees. It is showing only 1,000 rupees. So this is going to be the bug, right? So this is going to be the error, right? So these type of bugs, this type of errors has been resolved in the testing part. This type of bugs, this type of errors has been resolved in the testing part. But my question was like, who will do testing? Ultimately, we are having the QA team. QA team. Nothing but the quality and analysis. So simply we are going to call them as the test. So ultimately, testers will do test here. Testers will do test. So next, after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. After test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. Now, what is meant by deploy? So see here, let's say, let's say this is my 100% test cases passed code. This is my 100% test cases passed code. So whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server, placing those code over the server are nothing but what? It's going to be the deployment. It's going to be the deployment. So simply we are going to call this as deploy. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but what? It's going to be the deploy. So simply I mean to say it's going to be the deployment. So simply we are going to call this as the deploy. So now after deploy, what we are having here? We are having the operate. What we are having? We are having the operate. Now, what is meant by operate? So see here, operate is nothing but, let's say this is my server. This is my server. So in my server, I am having the Paytm application. What we are having here? We are having the Paytm application. So once I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, so ultimately users are trying to access it. Ultimately, users are trying to access my Paytm application from the server. Let's say my server capacity was 100 members. What was the server capacity here? 100 members. But when the users are trying to access my Paytm application from the server was about 100 plus members. Was about 100 plus members. So now at certain point of time, my server is going to be down, right or not? So ultimately my server is going to be down. Why? Because my server capacity was 100 members, but the users are accessing my Paytm application from the server was about the 100 plus members. So ultimately what will happen? At certain point of time, your server is going to be down. So here making the availability of 24 by 7, here making the availability of 24 by 7, my server, and also 24 by 7, my application, 24 by 7, my application are nothing but operate. Making the availability of 24 by 7, my server as well as 24 by 7, my application are nothing but what? It's going to be the operate. Next. After operate, what we are having here? We are having the monitor. What we are having? We are having the monitor. Now, what is meant by monitor? So see here, monitor is nothing but, let's say, again the same example. Again the same example. This is my server. This is my server. So in my server, I'm having my Paytm application. This is the server. In my server, I'm having the Paytm application. So the moment I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, so ultimately users are trying to access it. Ultimately, users are trying to access my Paytm application. So let's say once the users are trying to access my Paytm application from the server, so automatically the server's utilization, nothing but the CPU and the RAM is going to be increased. So ultimately it will increase. So let's say at certain point of time, it crosses the threshold value. It crosses the threshold value and it crosses the mount value. Again, my server is going to be down. When the CPU as well as RAM are increasing. So ultimately, your server is going to be down. So here, monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but what? It's going to be the monitor. Monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but what? It's going to be the monitor. So clear for all of you about the monitor? That's great. Now, so see here, totally we have done with the SDLC. So we have done with the plan, code, build as well as test. And also we have done with the deploy, operate as well as monitor. Now, so let's say development team has done their part. Development team has done their part and operational team are also doing their job. So here my question was like, where is the DevOps involvement? Where is the DevOps involvement? Development team has done their part and operational team has doing their job well. Where is the DevOps involvement? Let me tell you. So see here, once I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, my application has been failed. Once I have deployed my Paytm application over the server, my application has been failed. So once your application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between your development team as well as operational team. Once our application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between your development team as well as operational team. So what was the confusion here? Let me tell. So once our application has been failed in the server, so the operational team will say to the development team, what they will say, our application has been failed in the server, our application contains bugs, our application contains errors. So this type of reasons operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100%, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. So this stage was very important. So see here, once our application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between your development team as well as operational team. So what was the confusion here? So once the application has been failed, the operational team will say to the development team, what they will say, our application has been failed in the server, our application contains bugs, our application contains errors. So this type of reasons operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. So this was the confusion between your development team as well as operational team. So to avoid this confusion, to break this confusion, we are having the DevOps team. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps team. So as we can see here in the DevOps, the first three letters represent dev, nothing but the development team. So the last three letters represent ops, nothing but the operational team. Nothing but operational team. So this team is going to be involved in the both the teams. So they are going to involve in the development team. They are going to involve in the operational team. So this team can get to know that where was the application failed. I mean to say why our application has been failed in the server. This team is going to be having an idea. So in upcoming sessions also you guys are going to be sort out that one. So why our application has been failed in the server? What was the reason? So those all things you can also learn, you can also get it. Okay. So as of now, like just try to remember, DevOps team is going to be the team that are involved in the both the development team as well as operational team. And also remember, this team is not going to be write any code. This team is not going to be write any code. Okay, it's going to be the 100% free of code. So they are going to be involved in the development team, but they are not going to write any code. Next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the DevOps lifecycle. So as we can see here, the DevOps logo represents one symbol. The DevOps logo will represent one symbol. What was that? Any idea? Infinity. Now here my question was like, what is mean by infinity? What is mean by infinity? Uncountable, never ending, like. So we are having the never ending. So in the same way for the DevOps also, there is no end. There is no end process in the DevOps. Let me tell you why DevOps has never ending process. So let's say initially what I have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the Paytm application. So in that Paytm application, what we have created? We have created the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. Right or not? So to create, let's say this is my Paytm application version 1. This is my Paytm application version 1. So to create our Paytm application version 1, what we have done? We have done the plan, we have done the code, build, as well as test. And also we have done deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So there will be another phase called release. So just try to ignore these phase. So I will tell at the end what is meant by release. So just try to concentrate on the 7 points. So to create our Paytm application version 1, what we have done? We have done the plan, code, build, as well as test. And also we have done deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Okay. So let's say after 1 year, the Paytm owner has come up with a new idea. What he's saying means, my Paytm application is booming in the world. My Paytm application is booming in the world. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to Paytm application version 2. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to Paytm application version 2. So in the version 1, totally I am having 5 services. How many services I am having here? I am having 5 services. So whereas in the Paytm application version 2, totally I am having 7 services. How many services I am having here? I am having 7 services. So old 5 to new. Old 5 services I am having here. I am having 2 new services. So let's say to create two new services, again what I need to do? I need to do the plan. So now I am going to create DTH, DTH as well as metro tickets. So this was my plan. In my Paytm application version 2, I want to implement DTH as well as metro tickets. So this is my plan. So after plan, so regarding these DTH as well as metro tickets, I need to write the code. We need to build it. We need to test it. We need to deploy that one. We need to operate as well as we need to monitor. Right or not? Again. So I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to Paytm application version 3. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to Paytm application version 3. So in the version 3, totally I want to implement 10 services. Totally I want to implement 10 services. So here old 7, 3 new. Regarding version 2, I am having old 7, so 3 new. So to create 3 new features, again what I need to do here? I need to do the plan. We need to do the code, build, test, and also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Right or not? So as we can see here, when the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. When the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. So that's the reason DevOps has never ending process. So as we can see here, daily we are getting the updates, right? So that was done by the development, I mean to say DevOps team only. Okay. So I have taken the example of Paytm. As we are choosing the number of applications daily. So we are using the Phone Pay, Google Pay, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, even So we are using the Chat GPT, DeepSeek, Copilot, all are the AIs, right? So these AIs are also handled by the DevOps team. Without DevOps, there is no even single application in the market. So here we can get to know that importance of DevOps. Without DevOps, there is no even single application in the market. So just try to imagine, without WhatsApp, do we can able to survive in the market? Without phone pay, so we can't able to survive in the market. So this was the importance of DevOps. Next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the before DevOps. So basically, DevOps was come in the year of 2009. In which year? 2009. But before 2009, if you want to create any application, what type of methodologies they are going to use? So they are going to use like waterfall methodology. What methodology they are going to use here? They are going to use like waterfall methodology. So as we are moving from the waterfall methodology to the DevOps model, so ultimately we are having some drawbacks in the waterfall model, right or not? As we are moving from the waterfall model to the DevOps model, so ultimately we are having some drawbacks in the waterfall model. So before going to discuss about the waterfall model drawbacks, let me explain you one scenario here. So see, let's say this is me. This is me. So totally I am at waterfalls. I am at waterfalls. Let's say my water was started at here. My water was started at here. After some time, my water was at here. After some time, my water was at here. Now here my question was like, did my water will go up again? Did my water will go up again? So ultimately, no, right? Ultimately, no. So whereas in the same way, in the similar way, this is the waterfall model workflow. This is the waterfall model workflow. So let's say if you have failed in the verification part, if you have failed in the verification part, you can't go back to the implementation phase. Or if you have failed in the implementation phase, you can't go back to the designing part. You can't go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can't go back to the previous step. And also, let's say to come to the verification part, it has been taken 3 years of time. It has been taken 3 years of time. So totally we have wasted our time. We have wasted our time. And also, for these 3 years of time, I need to provide the salaries for the developers. I need to provide the salaries for the developers. So ultimately, we have loosened our money. So in the waterfall model, what was the drawbacks here? We can't go back to the previous step, and also we have wasted our time, and also we have wasted our money. So this was the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model. This was the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model. So whatever the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model has been overcome in the SL methodology. Has been overcome in the SL methodology. Now, what is meant by SL methodology? So see here, SL methodology. Let's say I'm having the Paytm application. In my Paytm application, totally I'm having, let's say, 15 services. How many services I'm having here? 15 services. Now, let us try to split. Let us try to split. So 5, 5, and then 5. So 5, 5, and then 5. So see here, dividing the larger application into the parts, dividing the larger application into the parts, and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but SL methodology. Dividing the larger application into the parts, and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but what? It's going to be the SL methodology. Now here my question was like, again, what is meant by sprint? Sprint is nothing but a timeline. Sprint is nothing but a timeline. So here we are getting the time. So I want to implement these 5 features within 1 year. I want to implement these 5 features within 1.5 year. So I want to implement these 5 features within 3 months. So setting the time are nothing but the sprint. Okay. Now here my question was like again, what about the drawbacks here? So let's say if you have failed in the test part, you can go back to the build phase. Or if you have failed in the build phase, you can go back to the designing part. So this is the default feature that was present in the Agile methodology. So see here, once you are moving to the previous step, so ultimately we can save our time. Also we can save our money. So whatever the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model has been overcome in the Agile methodology. So there is no drawbacks in the Agile methodology. So nowadays most of the companies are also using the Agile methodology. So as I am Azure DevOps engineer, in my project also I am using the Agile methodology. Okay. So if you want to implement the Agile methodology, we need to learn the DevOps. If you want to implement the Agile methodology in your project, you need to implement the DevOps here. Okay. Now, see here. After this, we are having the DevOps history. So see here, in the DevOps history, right? DevOps was oriented in the year of 2008. In which year? 2008. But what I have said? 2009. So basically it was come in the year of 2009 only. So see here, originally it was a discussion between two people. Who are they? Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. Originally it was a discussion between two people. Who are they? Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. So what was the discussion means? So let's say once our application has been failed in the server, so ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between your development team as well as operational team, right? So what if break this confusion? So that was the discussion happened between your Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. Now, in the year of 2009, they held a summit at Belgium. What was the summit here? What if DevOps comes into the market? That was the summit happened at Belgium in which year? 2009. So after this summit, DevOps was introduced. In the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. In the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. So in that report, they are saying like DevOps is going to be very high demand in the future. That was a report submitted in the year of 2014. If DevOps had a birth certificate, then the father name would be your Patrick DBS. So ultimately, he is the inventor of DevOps. Who is he? Patrick DBS. So then next. So after this, we are having tools we used in DevOps. So this slide was very important. So whatever the tools we are having in the DevOps and what we are going to learn in our course. So I have mentioned here. So basically this was the SDLC, right? These all stages are going to be your SDLC. So first one, what we are having here? We are having the plan. So for the plan, there is no tool and also we are not going to learn any tool. For the planning purpose, we are not going to learn any tool. There is no tool. Why? Because these all are going to be the thoughts, right? Whatever the application we are going to create, how many services we are going to be implement, how many developers we are going to be implement, on which cloud you want to implement your application, what is the development team size, what is the timeline. So these all are going to be the plan. So for the planning purpose, there is no tool. We are not going to learn any tool. Okay. So after plan. After plan. What we are having here? We are having the code. What we are having here? We are having the code. So now here my question was like, who will write the code? Development team. Who will write the code here? Development team. So after writing the code, so we need to save that one. We need to track that. So to save our code, to track our code, we are having the number of tools. So here I am having the Git, and also I am having the Subversion, and also I am having the Zira. But what we are going to learn? So we are going to learn like Git as well as GitHub, and also we are going to learn Azure repos. So to save our code, we are having here three tools. One was the Git, GitHub, and also we are going to learn Azure repos. Okay. So let's say if you are AWS DevOps engineer, if you are AWS DevOps engineer, you guys are going to be deal with Git as well as GitHub. Or else, if you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are going to deal with Git as well as Azure repos. So as we are learning the both clouds, we are going to cover Git, GitHub, and also we are going to cover Azure repos. Okay. Next. So after code, what we are having? We are having the build. What we are having here? We are having the build. Now, to build our code, we are having the number of tools. So we are having the Maven, we are having the Ant, we are having the Gradle. But what we are going to learn? We are going to learn like Maven. What we are going to learn here? We are going to learn the Maven. So remember guys, so whatever the implement tools we are having in the market, and also organizations, what type of, I mean to say what tools they are going to use. So we need to learn the tools. Okay, so we need to go as per the industry standards. So that's the reason here we are going to learn the Maven. And also let's say we are having one more tool called MS Build. So basically Maven is the tool to build the Java code. So if you are having the .NET, we are going to use the MS Build. Okay. So we are having the different built-in tools. According to the situation, we are going to use that one. Okay. So after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. Now, who will do test here? Ultimately, we are having the testers, right? So what type of tools they are going to use means, so they are going to use like Selenium as well as JUnit, and also they are having some other tools as well. So according to the project, according to the requirement, they are going to use that tools. So as we are a DevOps engineer, we are not going to learn any testing tools here. So it's going to be completely handled by the testers. So after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. What we are having? We are having the deploy. So to deploy our code, we are having the number of tools. We are having the Docker, we are having the Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Stack, and also we are having the Ansible. But what we are going to learn? So in our course, we are going to learn like Docker as well as Ansible. What we are going to learn here? We are going to learn the Docker as well as Ansible. Okay. So after deploy, what we are having? We are having the operate. What we are having here? We are having the operate. So to operate our code, again we are having the Docker as well as Ansible. So this was done in the deploy, right? So one of the most important tool. So without this tool, he is not a DevOps engineer. Okay. So this is nothing but your Kubernetes. What was that? Kubernetes. So for the Docker as well as Kubernetes, so we are going to spend a very lot of for the Docker and then Kubernetes. So we are going to be spend a very lot of time. So we are going to learn very in depth in the Docker as well as Kubernetes. Next. So after operate, what we are having? We are having the monitor. So to monitor our application, we are having the different tools. We are having the ELK, Splunk, Nagios. But what we are going to learn? So we are going to learn like Prometheus and Grafana. We are having also we are having the node exporter, and also we are having the Datadog. Okay. So we are going to learn Prometheus, Grafana, Node Exporter, and then Datadog. So if time permits, so we are going to deliver the Splunk ELK as well. So Nagios is going to be the old tool. Nowadays, no one is using. So all are using. So if you have seen any JDs, so in that JDs we are having the Prometheus, Grafana, and then Node Exporter, and also we are having the Datadog. So in our sessions, we are going to learn this one. Prometheus, Grafana, Node Exporter, Datadog. Okay. So then next. So to integrate all these things, to integrate all these things, we are having an integration tool called Jenkins. What we are having here? We are having Jenkins. So for the Jenkins alternates, we are having the Bamboo as well as Hudson. So nowadays, no one is using the Bamboo Hudson, all are using the Jenkins. So in our course, we are going to learn the Jenkins. So remember, if you are AWS DevOps engineer, you are AWS DevOps engineer, you are going to be work with the, or if you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are going to learn Azure CI/CD pipelines. Azure CI/CD pipeline. So both are used for to write the pipelines only, but the naming conventions are going to be the different. So here we are going to call this as Azure CI/CD pipeline. Here we are going to call this as the Jenkins. Nothing but in the Jenkins also we are going to write the pipelines. Okay, so as we are learning the both, we are going to deal with the Jenkins and also we are going to deal with the Azure CI/CD pipeline. So rest of the things all are the same. So build, I mean to say Maven. So it is going to be the same in the AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps. So Docker, it is going to be the same in the AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps. So Ansible is going to be the same. Prometheus, Grafana, Node Explorer, Datadog, all are the same. And also Kubernetes. So we are having some more tools like Terraform. So and also we are having like Tomcat, Nexus. So these all are the artifacts, right? So that would be covered in the both the clouds. There is no worries. So guys, so that's it from mine for today. So if you have any doubts over this session, you can ask. And also we are having like Trivi, Boyaspo, these all are going to be come under the DevSecOps. And also we are going to integrate some AI tools. Okay. So that would be covered in the upcoming sessions. So online clear for all of you. So that's it from mine for today. So if you have any notes, you can ask. Any notes from this session?